All right, welcome to another episode of the Jungle Gym. This week we're going to do like a little news update with you guys on what's going on with Shining Fates and what's going on with some upcoming sets. So one of the things that's happened recently is that the promo card for Shining Fates has went down from about $30 or $40 in price to $3. And we're thinking we're going to continue to see these trends with some of the single cards of Shining Fates, and it's going to go down even further in value.
Yeah, it kind of shows like almost like despite seeing those like $150 prices for these ETBs, it turns out that enough people were able to get them, or at least that the EV promo that was in there, right? For some reason, it was like not as in high demand, I guess, as a Charizard promo. I mean, what are your guesses as to why it drops so low? Because usually these things are what, like at least $20, $30 sometimes?
So, I mean, we saw a similar thing happen with Champions Path, right? Like, it started off as, like, I think it was even like a $50 promo card when Champions Path first came out, and there was all this hype around it. Then it went down to like a $30 or $20 card, and then it eventually went down to a $10 card. But with Shining Fates, you know, it's been a way drastic, way quicker decline in the value of the card. And I think this kind of also represents, you know, what's going to happen with the prices of sealed Shining Fates products. So, like, we're going to continue to see prices go down closer to retail as we get through this third wave and we start off into the fourth wave. I think that's where they even have a possibility of like seeing Shining Fates products on the shelves at Target.
Yeah, and I think this is a good point to mention too. This is why our strategy just involves a little bit of patience and just a little bit of knowledge when it comes to like how these sets progress as they age, right?
Yeah.
You can see right away that like you are not getting your best value by rushing out to your store, locking this down on release date, you know what I mean, for whatever prices you can get it at. You know, as it turns out, if you wait about, you know, looks like about like 45, maybe even as much as 60 days after the initial release of a product, that's when you start to see some of these like good prices to enter in at, you know?
Yep. And so, you know, one of the cards that initially was going for like $700 to $900, I think there's even some crazier prices. I think like $1,800 when it was like first, you know, put on the market was the shiny Charizard.
Yeah, we watched a cash deal for that go down on release date. What was it? What did it go for?
I think it was $700.
Yeah, it was about $700.
Yeah, $700.
And you got to buy some dinner.
Yep, they had to buy dinner and receive $700. But, you know, we're predicting that at the end of the third wave, once the fourth wave of Shining Fate starts, we're thinking that Shining Charizard is going to go down to around $200, $220 in price. And, you know, that would be a great time to actually think about buying all of your Shining Fates singles cards if you're trying to complete a Shining Fates card set.
Yeah, it's like, you know, a lot of it comes down to perception, folks. I think because Shining Fates was so heavily open, documented, and then put on the internet, everybody's seeing on Instagram all the shiny Charizard VMAXs, right? And that perception just creates this impression that it wasn't scarce, as opposed to the VMAX Rainbow Pikachu from Vivid Voltage, right?
Right.
Had the opposite image. Nobody was pulling it, so that card skyrocketed. So right now, people are seeing lots of copies of that VMAX shiny Charizard. So yeah, prices are liable to come down even more as future waves get released.
Pull rates definitely affect the value of the cards, right?
Definitely.
And even though it's a Charizard, if it's just, you know, if tons and tons of them are pulled and there's just so much of this product allocated that, you know, like we're expecting to see, that you're definitely going to see these cards kind of pull back in value over time.
Another reason to wait on the single purchases, right, till after the initial wave. Yes, the card might skyrocket, but as we've seen, you don't have any of the information about what the pull rates are really going to be like on these cards. You don't know how rare the rare cards are going to be until we start seeing all these people opening up. Now, if you were one of those people that was able to wait, it kind of saved you a little bit on that Charizard, right? Those are some...
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, we still haven't pulled one, and I'm hoping that we'd rather pull one than having to purchase one. But, you know, like at around the $200 value, I would consider making a purchase on the shiny Charizard in the Shining Fate set.
Yeah, it feels like a good deal, right?
Yeah.
That's like 2 ETBs, and you got the best card in the set.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, not at great prices, mind you. Like, we think, what do you... Shining Fates ETBs... Where do you think we're going to stand on those in terms of prices?
You know, we saw Champions Path come down to $55, you know, when they were close to the end of the allocations on that set. I expect us to see Shining Fates come down to $55 as well. And then, you know, once it gets past that fourth wave, it'll probably slowly tick back up to $75 and then up to $100. We're still firm believers that Shining Fates is a really solid collectible set and a great one to keep sealed in the long run.
Oh, let me just say this, especially like one of our most recent videos, it's a tremendous amount of fun. And anytime we take note that we're having a great time opening it, it turns out that fun, people are going to want to relive that or experience it themselves for the first time. So we have a lot, just in the same way that Hidden Fates, people really enjoyed that shiny vault the first time. It's just as great going around this time.
The 3 power sets that recently came out was Hidden Fates, Champion's Path, and Shining Fates. And those sets brought a lot of new people into the Pokemon community. There's a lot of fun chase cards in those sets. And, you know, we're really seeing like some hard sets to follow up on, you know, as these new sets are coming out on. And Vivid Voltage was an excellent set as well. So we just had like a run of like 4 sets in a row that were just really amazing. And, you know, some of these upcoming sets like Battle Styles is a great set, but it's not as amazing as a set as some of these past sets. And I think we're going to see kind of a continuous trend of that, which will be good for the overall Pokemon community, and maybe things will kind of regulate back to a normal pace than this crazy, you know, kind of bull market that Pokemon's been going through.
You know what? This is kind of reminding me of something. It's kind of like funny, from a sense of like buying and holding on to Pokemon, some of these sets that are coming out now, maybe it'll be a little less volatile, right? You can get in on reasonable prices, and instead of spiking to some insane level within like a month or two, you know, it'll probably just slowly start to appreciate and tick up. So, you know, once again, there's less of a need to, because don't you find that when a set spikes really hard initially, that's kind of what causes the prices to go up so fast, is that people feel like, oh, I'm missing out on my chance to get in on, right?
And that's part of the reason why we want to make these videos, is that hopefully, you know, new collectors that are coming in and researching, you know, like on buying Shining Fates or looking at buying a Pokemon set, aren't just going to have this feeling of like, I missed the opportunity to get Shining Fates, and they're going to go out and pay $140 for an ETB. So, you know, we're putting this content out to hopefully people that are new into the Pokemon collecting, you know, community will see this and be like, okay, I can't get a Shining Fates ETB right now, or I can't get a Battle Styles booster box right now. But if I just wait a little bit, the prices are going to come down. I'll have an opportunity to get it, you know? So that's our main goal, is to trying to protect people from getting like, you know, paying too much for product when it's going to come down in value, and then you feel like you kind of got, you know, scammed or something, or you really got took by scalpers or whatever, you know. And so we're trying to avoid people having those feelings.
And it's just the lessons of what's already happened, right? We're not trying to make any sort of Nostradamus type predictions here, because the truth is, this year, or just within the last year, they came out with more Hidden Fates.
Yeah.
Right? And that set came out 2 years ago.
Yep.
So...
And that's trying to combat some of the scalping and overpriced items. Pokemon doesn't want, you know, players to not have availability to product. They don't want it to be inaccessible to people, and that they can't afford to get products that they want to open and enjoy. So, you know, I think it's good that Pokemon does reprints, even though, like, it was funny because before people were, you know, so against it, and then now people are like against not being able to have product available to them. So it's a balancing act, right? Of, like,
no, totally. I think they're very happy with the modern card market being more accessible and for beginners and for people getting into the hobby to enjoy, right? And with vintage products are the things carrying like that hard to find, super collectible value, right? And I feel like everybody agrees it's kind of as it should be, right? Nobody looks at that and goes, what, a card that's 25 years old, why is that valuable, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
As opposed to like a brand new release that you can't get your hands on, nobody really feels good about that. So I don't think they're saying that Pokemon cards shouldn't have value, but you know,
some of the like initial value has just ran up too much with initial hype, and it's just gotten too out of control. So like, you know, I think that sets that are out of print, right, that will never be reprinted again, that is a reason for a set to go up in value. You know, like Unbroken Bonds, you know, they've already reprinted that set. They could reprint it again. Same with Hidden Fates. They could easily reprint more Hidden Fates if they wanted to. But there's sets that, you know, are further back in the past that there's really no chance of them reprinting it at this point. And so yeah, those sets should go up in value because they're just going to be way more limited availability of those sets on the market.
Yeah. And I like I said, so I think the main thing is we're trying to tell people, I think there's this time of panic, there's this time of anger, there's this time of people are like, oh, they're feeling betrayal. You know what we're saying? When everybody's freaking out, if you're the person just hanging back, playing it cool,
yep,
not getting on the crazy hype train, right? You're gonna find that actually things aren't as crazy as all the people are trying to scare you out to be, all right?
That's why we try to tip you guys off and get a couple pre-orders in at GameStop so that, you know, you can get a couple products at retail and kind of wait out some of this craziness of the market if you're wanting to get more than just a couple booster boxes.
Right.
So like one of the upcoming sets that's going to be up for pre-orders at GameStop is called Chilling Reigns. That's going to be coming up in, you know, the next few weeks, I would think, or something. I'm not sure an official date of when you'll be able to go and pre-order. But, you know, that will be one that I think is going to have an equal availability to Battle Styles.
Yeah.
Battle Styles was one that wasn't even supposed to be that collectible of a set. It was actually built for players, but it had an alternate art card in it that has just kind of made it into a collectible set. And it has had almost similar kind of just like Rush where people couldn't get it, and it went up to like a, you know, 50% over value. But
yeah, the Tyranitar, man, that was the T-Tar.
We're expecting Battle Styles to kind of be a middle of the road set that will kind of still be around for a little while. We're noticing that card shops are, you know, getting more and more allocations and inventory of Battle Styles. So don't overpay for Battle Styles either. We're thinking that will be more readily available as well.